Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from Bigsghimmo. Apologies about the pronunciation there. And it says, am I the arsehole for not listening to and kicking my husband out after he said, I love you? The first time. We are both Indian. We both lived in North America since our childhoods. As you might guess, it was an arranged marriage, so we only met a couple of times before the wedding. He told me right away that he had just gone through a breakup with a long-time girlfriend, and it was the only reason he was going down the arranged marriage route. I was fine with this as long as there wouldn't be any infidelity issues down the line, and he promised. He stayed true to this, but he was very cold to me for the first couple of months. In these months, we got intimate very often, but the relationship felt purely physical and lacked any emotional or personal connection. Even the ring he got me was a $60 plain ring from Walmart. Seeing that honestly broke my heart, and I wasn't sure if he would ever actually love and care about me. The one thing he did for me was noticing that I was struggling and overworked at my job. He makes 12 times what I was making at my job and told me that I didn't have to work and could be a housewife/homemaker, as his income was more than enough to afford us a very comfortable lifestyle. I want to clear this and say that he never pressured or manipulated me into quitting my job. The decision was solely mine. Anyway, this gave me a lot of time to really get to know him, learn to cook his favorite meals, etc. Despite me trying everything to be the best possible wife to him, he was still super cold to me, and the most affection I got was a smile for anything I would do for him. Suddenly, just before our 3-month anniversary, he asked me if I wanted to join him on a walk after dinner. That walk was the first time I felt him being affectionate and caring. These walks became our new normal, and it expanded to actual date nights, spontaneous activities, better intimacy. I feel super loved and safe with him. Everything became great. He would compliment and appreciate even the smallest things, surprise me with gifts and flowers, make me feel beautiful, but he never said, I love you, despite me saying it very often, and this was nearing our first anniversary. The night before our first anniversary, we were watching a show together, and around 11:30 p.m, he said, let's go for a walk. He had planned this and our walk went, so we reached our favorite spot in our area. A specific spot along a walking path with a beautiful view of the nearby lake, just before midnight. He apologized for how cold and distant he was in the first few months after the wedding, followed by him telling me how thankful he was to have me as his wife and appreciating my presence. Turned his giant pile of bricks, referring to the house we live in, into a place he can actually call home. At midnight, aka our anniversary, he told me he loved me and got on one knee and slid a beautiful diamond-studded ring onto my finger and presented me with my favorite flowers that he had hid nearby a few hours ago. He had some friends of ours secretly record and take pictures of this entire conversation. I couldn't stop smiling. This ring, his I love you, his genuine appreciation meant the world to me. 24 hours and many more I love yous later, we had just got home from our anniversary dinner. We looked at our photos of the previous night and the dinner I posted on my social media. A few minutes later, I got a nasty DM from his longtime ex calling me names like whore and slut and saying I ruined their relationship and she should be the one with a ring and just shitting on my entire existence. She also sent an intimate video of her and my husband. I started crying and yelling at my husband, accusing him of cheating. My husband showed me his phone and it showed thousands of messages from his ex over the past year that he never responded to. My husband hugged me and held me close, but I couldn't stop crying and asked my husband to leave the house. He reluctantly agreed, hugged me again and promised he never betrayed me, and headed to his best friend's place for the night. I feel so insecure because his ex is so much more attractive than I am, and the video showed how intensely in love they were. I asked 2 of my girlfriends to spend the night and they came immediately and were able to calm me down. My husband came by the next day to talk, but I couldn't bear to look at him. I asked him to give me some time alone. He said okay and kissed my forehead and dropped off some food and my favourite chocolate he had got for me. 3 days went by like this, and I called him asking if he could come back home. He left work early and came straight to me. I didn't even say anything. I just broke down crying when I saw him. He held me close and promised that the only woman he cares about is me, his wife. It's been 4 days since he came back home, and he's been giving me flowers, random hugs and kisses, everything a wife dreams of getting from her husband. But I just can't move on from seeing that video of him and his ex. My husband has been trying to talk to me about this, but I've been shutting down any conversation. He tried again during dinner today, and this time I blew up at him and told him to leave. There was something in the heat of the moment, but he looked hurt. He packed some clothes and said he's going back to his friend's place until I'm ready to talk. I tried to stop him when he was leaving, but he left anyway and won't pick up my calls. My girlfriend, his friend's wife, called and said he's staying over for at least a night. I called my sister and explained the whole situation to her. She told me I fucked up big time and told me I was an asshole for 1. Kicking him out the first time, 2. Not even being open to a conversation, 3. Kicking him out again. Am I the arsehole? I understand that my husband is innocent in this, but no one seems to understand what I'm going through seeing that video. Now, I want to start off by saying, isn't what the ex did there, isn't that considered revenge porn, which I know is illegal in the UK, and I would assume it is in the US as well. I know that states differ with their laws, etc, so, it says North America, you have to let me know on that one. And I feel like you're just destroying your own relationship here, and the ex is getting exactly what she wants in this situation. I think the best thing to do was to have let your husband know what she was doing, block her, and move on. People have past relationships, people have past sexual relationships, and you kicking him out, punishing him for this? Of course that's going to make you the arsehole. But no teacher says people have pasts. Generally they've been in love before and had sex before. He loves you now. You can have a whole happy life together. The ex lost and is bitter. It's not your husband's fault. She's trying to create trouble. Try not to fixate on the video. Block her and move on. No communication says I don't understand OP. This vindictive woman tried to slander your marriage and your husband and you. And you're more worried about him cheating and taking this in entirely the wrong way. He's doing everything to prove to you that you're the one he loves. You are OP. Like others have said, don't let his ex get to you. Don't let her win. She's jealous and you should feel proud he's ignored her and chosen you. Talk to him, explain how you feel, and stop bottling it up, or you'll lose the one man that truly sees who you are for yourself. I know some things says you're the arsehole, you need to apologize to your husband, and you need to be open to him about how hurt you were watching the video because you saw how much he loved her. Maybe do couples counseling so you can also try and lose some of the resentment from the first few months of marriage. Don't ruin your relationship over this. Ask for forgiveness and try to move forward together. Communication and trust are key, and acknowledge you're accusing him of cheating would have been extremely hurtful. And a final comment from Captain Nemo 42, who says your reaction and lack of understanding has made his ex shit-stirring attempt successful beyond her wildest dreams. You're the arsehole, OP. Yes, the ex is awful, and yes, it is understandably painful and uncomfortable to have seen that video. Your response though? You're throwing away the prize despite the woman who lost the game, which makes no sense. Your situation worked out beyond everything you could have hoped, and you're treating him like garbage because his ex is jealous of you. So OP comes in with her update and says, I couldn't sleep after he left the second time last night and stayed up reading every single comment. Thank you all for helping me realize how much I was hurting my husband by not being open to a conversation and repetitively asking him to leave. I called him again. He didn't pick up, so I left a voicemail and begged him to come home and promised that we could talk about everything. He couldn't sleep either and came home around 3 a.m. I was still awake and asked if we could talk now. We sat down and I began the conversation. I explained that I truly love him, but seeing the intense chemistry he and his ex had in the video made me feel jealous and insecure. He promised me that was something of the past and I am his present and future, and he only loves me. I apologized for ignoring his attempts at talking to me and telling him to leave. I said a lot of I'm sorries and promised to be a better communicator. He forgave me, but He also told me that he was at fault as well. He said he enabled his ex by not blocking her, giving her the idea that she still had a chance with him, which caused her to try and come after me and cause a rift in our marriage. He also told me she messaged him the day after sending the message and video, again begging him to leave me for her. He apologized for his part in letting his ex disrespect me and showed me he had blocked her now. We decided to not go to counseling for now and just work on things ourselves. With my self-esteem issues regarding thinking his ex was much more attractive than me, my husband reassured me and told me that I'm perfect the way I am and he loves every part of me. He suggested that some sort of physical exercise could help me improve my own self-confidence, the same way weightlifting helped him when he was going through a dark place in his late teens. So I'm going to be joining a Pilates class, where a couple of my girlfriends already go quite regularly. We spent a few more hours just talking and the topic of his ex came up, and I asked if he could tell me what happened between them. Long story short, he was reluctant to tell me. His ex of 4 years cheated when he was planning to propose. He went on a bender. Parents asked if he wanted to try the arranged marriage route. He agreed, saying he was in no condition to make good decisions. We met a month after he got clean and things went from there. He said he regrets treating me early in our relationship and regrets giving me the shitty Walmart ring because of what another woman did to him, and asked for my forgiveness about the thousands of messages. He didn't block his ex on any form of communication because his revenge was showing her his life could be better without her, but he admitted he also found her desperation pretty funny. We read some of the messages together and had a nice laugh before he deleted all of them permanently on his own accord. So that's that, I guess. Talking with him went as best as it could have. He forgave me and admitted and apologized for his part in this. We fell asleep together. I cooked his favorite meal for lunch. We went on a walk and all seems good. Thank you everyone for helping me realize how much we needed to calmly talk to each other. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit from CivilBite9232, and says, am I the arsehole here for being the buzzkill at my boyfriend's birthday party? I am 24 female. My boyfriend is 28 male. He isn't the type of person who likes birthday parties, but this year his friends really wanted to throw him one. He got discharged from the army after 10 years of service, so in part it was to celebrate that. I helped arrange this birthday party. We pooled our money and rented a house by the ocean. My boyfriend loves to surf. I put in extra money so we could stay after the birthday, have some time, just the two of us. I know my boyfriend very well, all of his non-verbal cues and mannerisms. We often communicate with actions, gestures, and looks. I was sitting on the sofa by the fire table warming myself. My boyfriend came over and hugged me. I could tell right away when I held his face in my hands. They got this man so drunk. He put his forehead on my shoulder. I knew he is tapped out. Whenever he gets drunk like this, he always comes and finds me. I know this behavior. Some time passes, I'm just stroking his hair and talking to him softly. His friends come to get him to go off somewhere, and my boyfriend has his face buried in my neck. He's holding my hand. His fingers are interlaced with mine. His eyes are closed, but they're still trying to pull him away. I start resisting by holding my boyfriend to me protectively. I tell his friends he's done for the night. He's not going anywhere. They argue with me. Keep in mind they're drunk too. I said no, he's done. You guys got him too drunk. They try to push me about it and they're being kind of aggressive. Maybe they don't realize it because they were drunk. I found it a little intimidating since I was a 5'3" woman trying to reason with loud, inebriated military guys. They're all quite older too. My boyfriend is one of the youngest people in their group, but I hold my ground. They go on without my boyfriend. Not long after, the party winds down, and as everyone is leaving, I'm getting cold-shouldered. A lot. It's blatantly obvious they're upset with me. Am I the arsehole here? I didn't mean to be a buzzkill. I was protecting my boyfriend. I know his limit. They seem mad at me for assuming they wouldn't look after him, which is not what I was implying, and that I took him away from their celebrating. They had celebrated plenty, for hours. It was past midnight when this incident happened, but they don't get to see each other often, or be in the same place at once, and I was going to have my boyfriend to myself the next day. From their perspective, I was unreasonable and I spoiled their fun. So OP left like an update in the comments and a further update as well. So we're going to cover that straight away. It says, here is the update. My boyfriend spoke to his friends/colleagues involved in the incident and they reached out to apologize to me. They didn't know I felt hurt by their attitude towards me at the end of the night. They said they were just drunk and giving me a hard time. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Unfortunately, because I'm not familiar with their humor, I misinterpreted a little. They also recognized how they came across too and were genuine about it. They said they respect me and how I handled it. I'm one of the good ones. But OP came in with their final update and said, it will be short. I kind of did the update by replying to a comment in the original post already because I didn't think my story needed an update post. I just wanted to come back and share good news. I'm engaged. And some of the guys from the incident were the same guys who helped my fiance plan his proposal. It was simple and private, but they helped light a lot of candles. A lot of people gave them a tough time in the comments, but they are good people. Anyway, thanks again. I've placed this update on my page instead of am I the arsehole here, because it felt obnoxious to put it there. I don't know how to read it. Bye. Now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And we're going to have one more story from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. This one doesn't have an update as yet, but the title grabbed me. It's from Main Dragon Fruit 6171 and says, am I the arsehole for refusing to add a charity to the list of places people can donate in lieu of flowers? I have a friend who thinks I'm being an arsehole for refusing to compromise, and more friends backing her up. Note, we're all in our 20s. This happened recently. My sister, Eliza, died suddenly in March. She was in an accident, and that is all I'm going to say. My family is big on giving back to the community. So for a funeral, in lieu of flowers, we asked that people donate to a charity in Eliza's honor. She was a huge animal lover. She was involved in animal rights causes like conservation and banning animal testing, and volunteered and fostered pets for adoption. So the charities we chose were for animal welfare, example ASPCA or Best Friends Animal Society. One of my friends, not Eliza's friend, didn't think this was good enough. She wanted to donate to another charity for a cause that's been in the news a lot lately. Let's say trans rights, which is noble and important, but it wasn't Eliza. If she had money, it's going towards saving endangered orangutans or feeding homeless cats. My friend Pat got hissy with me. She said she didn't want to waste money on someone who isn't going to notice. What? And would rather her paycheck goes to something that will actually make a difference. I told her no because the donations are for Eliza, not her. I'm not budging on this. Of course, Pat took to social media to paint me out as a villain. Our other friends think that I should have made an exception to Pat and let her donate to the other charity. I still said no because it feels gross. Pat donating somewhere else isn't about Eliza. It's just an excuse for her to virtue signal. Anyway, the funeral was a few weeks ago, and things are still tense between me and the people I'm doubting our friendships with. Am I the arsehole? Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation, and I'm trying to understand the logic here because there was nothing stopping Pat from donating to whatever charity she wanted. She didn't have to donate to the ones that you asked for. She could have went silently and donated to any charity that she wanted to with her own money. You know your sister. You know what she would have wanted to have supported. Pat had the choice to respect that and donate if she chose to, or just not donate at all and stay silent. Instead, she chose to make this a big thing. Went to social media to paint you out to be a villain. And that comment of she said she didn't want to waste money on someone who isn't going to notice. That got me right riled up. What an absolute arsehole. But Teeny Sod says, I'm sorry for your loss and that some of your friends are not respecting what you would know would have been your sister's wishes. If they want to donate to the other charity, why would they need it to be in Eliza's name? Not the arsehole. You called it on the virtue signaling. Stardust says, not the arsehole, but your friend sure are. I couldn't even imagine asking a friend who suddenly lost their sister to make accommodations for my preferences and suddenly not bash them for saying no. That just sounds insane to me. For fuck's sake, the donations are for Eliza. OP, I know these words ring hollow during these times, but I'm truly, deeply sorry for your loss. And one more comment from Squall who says, not the arsehole, this is a confusing situation. Can Pat not donate unless it has the name of someone she wasn't close to attached? She can feel to donate whatever she wants to whoever she wants. I don't see why she needs to have your sister's name involved. Anyone who backs up such a person is delusional. You and your family knew your sister. You knew what she liked, what she valued, what she would have wanted. If people keep harping on it, either tell them when your sister dies, you can set that charity on your list if you want, or you can tell them to kick rocks. This is one of those things where you get to weed out real friends and good people from the fake friends and undesirables who you really don't need in your life. Then quotes the post and says, she said she didn't want to waste money on someone who isn't going to notice and would rather her paycheck goes to something that will actually make a difference, and says this is especially cruel. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and just a huge thank you for being here today. Once again, I really do appreciate the time out of your day, the time that you spend here listening in, getting involved in the comments, showing your love not just towards me but towards one another as well. I always find it absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows.